Okay, there we go. All right, so let me make sure I'm good to go here on TikTok. Give me a second to make sure I'm good here on TikTok. Um, I don't know why it's not there though. Ah, bam, boom. Okay, so I am officially live. Thank you guys. Come on in on YouTube, hey, and TikTok. Hello. So look, last week we talked about Bitcoin. I broke down Bitcoin, and today I want to break down Ethereum. But here's the thing: I'm breaking down Ethereum because there are questions, especially with new people, and I still have questions as a student. You know, myself, I still have questions as well, and so some of those things have been answered over time. But for a beginner, I'm going to touch on a couple of things. I've had people that tell me, well, crypto is crypto, right? Like it doesn't matter which one I buy. It absolutely does matter. That's like saying every company is the same, right? It doesn't matter what company you invest in the stock market. No, they all are different. They either have really great profit potential, right? Or they are gonna suck. And they may be removed from the New York Stock Exchange if they're on there, right? It's the same thing within the cryptocurrency market, y'all. Every crypto is not the same. All of them are not going to be around in the next 5 years. All of them are not going to give you what's going on, Philip. All of them aren't going to, continue to give you profit year after year or bullish cycle after bullish cycle. Okay, so that's the reason why I'm doing these crypto 101s every week, because as a beginner myself, there are a lot of things that I wish I would have known. There's a lot of things that I wish that people would have broke down to me instead of me bumping my head and having to find out the hard way. And learning about Ethereum is another thing that I'm like, man, it's great on the surface. They tell you should buy these things, but there's a few things that they don't tell you. One of those things I'm going to talk about tonight, because I'm not gonna lie. One time I said, "Man, I feel like this is just the rich man's stuff." It's not because of the price of it, because it's actually cheaper, right? Thank you for the rose. I appreciate it. It's not because of the price, but it's more so because of a thing that I'm going to mention with you guys. So as you're coming on, thank you guys for jumping on TikTok. Keep tapping the screen, y'all. I want to get to like 1,000 likes as fast as possible. If y'all can do that for me on TikTok, that would be great. That would be amazing. That is the best way, one of the best ways to support me for free, by tapping the screen, sharing the live. Y'all just hold down my nose on TikTok, just hold it down, and then blast it out, okay? If you know some people specifically that are interested in cryptocurrency, that's probably who you should be sending it to. Not just sending it to anybody, because then you're just sharing stuff with everybody. They're like, why are you sending me this stuff? I ain't care. I don't care about no crypto. Right? You don't want to be that person. Okay. So share, guys. That would be really great if we can get to at least 25 shares, like as fast as possible. I see you. Philip with Tashawn, my bad. Here, I'm sorry, y'all. It's the army. It ain't left me, okay? I know I'm retired, but they still ain't left me. So let me go ahead and do the quick shout outs real quick. So I see you, Kim Kama Blazo. Man, y'all on TikTok be having some names on here. I rock with it though. All right, Felix Kasi. Thank you so very much for jumping on, y'all. And then same thing on YouTube, y'all. Please give the thumbs up if you haven't yet. Subscribe if you haven't yet, and hit the notification bell so you know when I'm live as well. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get started with this. I put some music in the background. Like I can't just sit in silence. I know I start with diplomats, but I really just want to have something in the background. Hopefully YouTube don't, kick me off because of that. But anyway, so I got my neo soul in the background. Hopefully y'all hear it. If you don't like it, I'm sorry. But hey. Anyway, let's go. All right, so we went through the whole spiel with sharing, liking the live. Keep tapping the screen, y'all. I would really appreciate it if you keep tapping the screen and share. All right, so like I said, this week we're going to talk about Ethereum because last week we talked about Bitcoin. Okay, I'm going to go through the more technical stuff, like so you can take notes. I'm going to go through that pretty fast. I see you, Blazer Bass 81818. Okay, or I messed it up. 8181. I added an extra one. All right, so we're going to talk about Ethereum, how it works, and when to consider buying it safely and responsibly. Softball Dad 10. Okay. So by the end of this live, y'all, the goal is for you to know what Ethereum is. If you do not know, if you do not understand, the goal is for you to know why people use it. Okay, get an understanding of that. And also, how can someone invest in it for less than $100? But you're going to start learning how to do these things hands-on, okay? I understand that Ethereum right now is over $4,100 per coin. I am well aware that not everybody have $4,000 and some change to put into one investment. I am well aware of that. This is why I say you can invest in it for less than $100, okay? I'm going to show you how. We're going to walk through it today. All right, hopefully you guys are ready. If you know that, like you need to take notes, this is the time for you to go get a pen and pad if you don't have it. Especially if you're on TikTok and you're watching me, Roberto. If you're watching me on your phone, you might need to get a pen and pad so that way you can write some of these things down, especially if you're not aware of what they are. All right. So first things first, what is Ethereum, Leona? All right, I got you. Scotty, what? Okay, I'm not going to mess that up. Scott, I'm just going to say that. Okay. Welcome. So what is Ethereum? The technical definition is it's just a programmable blockchain. Okay. So for my people who were here last week, you know what blockchain is. For my people who have not been on any of these crypto 101 sessions and you're like, Leona, blockchain, I don't know what that is. I got you. Real quick reminder for those people. Blockchain simply is just like a share Google sheet. I don't want to give you the technical term because you're a beginner. So it's like a Google sheet that we share that nobody can secretly edit. And there's thousands of computers checking everybody's work. So this makes it very hard for anybody to fake any information, alter any information, any of those things, right? Bibi and D Hugo's Ma, right? All right. So Ethereum, though, is like a giant online computer that anyone can use. So instead of one company running the apps, right? The apps run on a network owned by everybody, the people. That's us. That's we. Got it? Okay. So let's talk about like what runs on it, because there's some terms that you're going to hear. And this is what I need you guys to write down, especially for my people who are curious about crypto. You want the free information. You're a beginner, right? You're like, I want to invest. I just don't understand it. I got you. Okay. So what runs it? It's something called smart contracts on my mama, like your name. Okay. Smart contracts. That's what is run on Ethereum. So what is a smart contract, Leona? I got you. Like here you go. Okay. They're just apps that follow rules automatically. So we all have seen vending machines. We've all used vending machines, right? Keep tapping. Thank you, guys. I appreciate y'all. You got me to 1K already. Thank you. Can we get to 2K? That would be nice. Tap the screen. Tap real quick. Tap, and share the live. Okay? So let's just say, you go into this store, right? Or this building, and they have a vending machine. Well, when you go to the vending machine, let's say you want some Cheetos. Okay? That's my daughter's favorite thing. So that's why I brought up Cheetos. So let's say you want some Cheetos. And the prompt to get the Cheetos is D4. So what do? You put your money in, boom, and then you press D4, right? Okay. When you press D4, the Cheetos automatically fall because you put the correct amount of money in. Now, it may prompt you, Deidre, to get change. So the vending machine automatically gives you change, and Hollis, it gives you your Cheetos. Everybody follow me so far? Okay? So now you have your Cheetos in your hand. Did you have to have a person, a manager, come up and say, hey, machine, give her Cheetos? Absolutely not. You know why that didn't happen? Because it's coded. Okay? There's a code. So for us, when we're talking about Ethereum, they use these codes, the smart contracts, to trade, to lend cryptocurrency, to create NFTs and buy NFTs, gaming items. So much stuff is used with these smart contracts, right? So how is it different, Leona, from Bitcoin? Because I thought all the cryptocurrencies was the same thing. Got it? We all know that they are not the same, right? Because I shared that in the beginning. So how is it different from Bitcoin? I'm going to give you one small difference real fast, right? ETH is the network's money, but Bitcoin is pretty much considered like cash that lives on the internet. What do you mean by its network money, Leona? Let me help you out. So what you do is when you have Ethereum, you're going to pay small fees in Ethereum called gas. Yeah, like fuel, gas. Okay, to use your apps or send other cryptocurrency or tokens, right? So I need you to think in terms of paying for electricity to make any type of action happen on the network. Okay, does that make sense? I hope it makes sense. Keep tapping the screen. Y'all, appreciate you. Welcome, hubby. Thank you so very much for joining and tapping the screen, right? So when we are talking about Ethereum, there's one more thing I want you guys to keep in mind as beginners. Again, this information, CC Silver, is for beginners. We need to know about proof of stake. Last week, we talked about proof of work with Bitcoin. This week, we're talking about proof of stake. I'm going to break this down because I'm pretty sure when I say the general term of it, definition of it, you're going to be like, I don't understand that. What that mean? I got you. Okay. So pretty much proof of stake is you're securing the network by staking, not energy. Okay. So it's saying I need to cut that down because it must be too loud. Okay. There we go. Cool. So hopefully y'all can hear me just fine, right? So when we talk about this, let me make sure y'all good on YouTube. Okay. All right. So with proof of stake, I cut it down some more because it still said it. All right. Should be good. Oh, shoot. Okay. Should be good. All right. So instead of mining like Bitcoin, right? What we're going to do with Ethereum, there's something called validators that do this thing called stake. Stake means we lock up a portion of our Ethereum to help secure the network. So if those validators cheat, they could be penalized. All right. So at the end of the day, honest behavior is rewarded. Just like good miners, right? You're going to get rewarded as a good Bitcoin miner. Okay. So if this went over your head, it's okay. When I was learning this stuff, I was like, what? Break this down to me. Like, make it plain. Okay. So I'm going to give you an example that most of us would be able to understand, especially those of us that like sports. So I'm a sports person. So I'm going to speak a little bit of sports lingo. Okay. So in sports, there are referees, right? Well, those referees, as it pertains to Ethereum, I got you, CC. It's okay. That's why I said we're going to take this slow. We're going to break it down. All right. It's all good. We've all been there, right? So in sports, we have referees, right? So when it comes to Ethereum, those referees are the validators. That's the people. Okay. Bang the gavel. Okay. With the name. Validators. So that's the people who hold Ethereum. All right. So how do you become a referee? Validator. Okay. How do you become a referee? Well, you invest in Ethereum. That's number one. But you lock up some of your Ethereum, which again, write this term down, staking. I want you to research this because this is not something that everyone is comfortable doing. Okay, it is risky. All right. Think of it like staking is like you put your money in a bank account and you're looking for dividends. Okay, you get a little more money for however much you're holding in that account, that bank account, Derek. Got it? Okay, so that's the equivalent of staking in the cryptocurrency market. The only difference is when we stake, it helps to secure the network. So when we stake, and we're talking about this whole referee situation, right? It's like leaving a deposit to prove that you're going to play the game fair. Okay, Pink? So now, what do the refs do? Again, I'm talking in sports lingo, but refs in cryptocurrency, specifically Ethereum, are called validators, which we already talked about for those who are coming on just now. Use Ethereum to make the transaction happen, right? We add new plays to the scoreboard. That's the blockchain. That's that block. If I buy $500 worth of Ethereum right now, Nikki Z, and then I send you $100 of that 500, Nikki Z, guess what that means? Now there's one block of me buying the Ethereum. Then boom, there's going to be a second block stamp saying that this wallet from Leona sent Nikki Z $100 worth of Ethereum. Gotta be love. All right. So now that we have that out there, there's going to be rewards and punishments for those of us that decide to lock up our Ethereum to secure the network. Meaning, again, if we're going to do this, we're looking to put our money into a bank and get some type of dividends. Got it, YouTube? Got it, TikTok? All right. So here's some rewards. So if a validator, all right, that's the actual term. If a validator does their job honestly, then they're going to earn a reward in Ethereum. Okay. So it could be 0.0001 Ethereum. It depends on whatever the percentage is at the time. I will tell you guys, I'm not going to go deep into the whole staking thing because I don't want to go over anybody's head and they're like, Leona, you overwhelmed. We don't want you. I don't want you to be overwhelmed. I want you to have the terminology so that way you can do some homework over the week and then do your research to see if it makes sense what I showed you or shared with you today. And then also if there's something you want to do because you already have bought some Ethereum. Okay. So now if you try to cheat though, okay, like you go offline a lot or whatever, the network can take some of your staked ETH away. So that penalty is called slashing. Okay. Again, I want you to write the terms down and then go back and then read them. And y'all, if anything, if you're still like, I don't understand, use Chat GPT to have it break it down to you to where you understand it and have it give you like really good examples. Okay. Right. So I see you again, Nikki Z. Appreciate you for jumping back on. Okay. So why this works? Well, because real money is online, right? Most validators are going to choose to be honest. There's no expensive mining machines when it comes to Ethereum. All right. So we're doing as holders of Ethereum, right? We can choose to stake it, which is get some dividends, right? For staking it. And then because we did that, we do the work, we get paid. But if you mess around, you lose money. That's it. Okay. Now the hard part, I hope, is past us. If you feel like it's past, you're like, okay, I think I got it. I wrote them down. I have proof of I have the proof of stake written down. I have staking written down. I have validator written down as it pertains to Ethereum, right? and I have slashing written down as it pertains to Ethereum. So now I can go back and I can relook up these words, these terms as it pertains to Ethereum. And then if I need to, I can go to ChatGPT and say, break this thing down to me so that way I understand. Okay? Cool. All right. So now we got that part out the way. Here's the thing that I wish more people would have explained to me before I started investing in Ethereum, because I now shout out to, my teacher, Curtis Cobain, because he was one of the first people to tell me in 2020, you need to own at least 5 Ethereum. Okay. Because he was like, yeah, Ethereum gonna go to 20K. And I'm like, shoot, well, I want to hold 5 Ethereum. All right, I'm like, I want to hold 5 Ethereum. Thank you for the follow, Nikki Z. Right? So that was one of the first people. But one of the things that wasn't talked about was Ethereum gas fees. And the reason why my eyes got big is because there's positives, there's pros and cons with everything, right? Of course, this is something you don't have to worry about when you're investing in or sending Bitcoin to anyone. But when you are using Ethereum or any of those like layer 2, then there's a possibility that you're going to be paying these ETH gas fees. So what does this mean? This means you're paying to use the network. It's just that simple. You're paying to be able to be in this community. You're paying to be able to be in the building. You're in a country club. I don't know what type of analogy you want, but you're paying to be there. Okay. So when you use an app, you pay a small fee in Ethereum called gas, right? When you are sending Ethereum, you're going to pay a gas fee. All right. So I want you guys to know this though. And this is what I didn't know, lazy trader. This is what I did not know before I started investing in Ethereum. Busier times equals higher gas fees. Well, how do I know it's busier times, Leona? When there is a high volume of Ethereum being bought, sold, sent, right? Well, how do I know? Like, is there something that I can go to tell me that it's a busy time? You absolutely can. So there's 2 websites that I go to most frequently as it pertains to me seeing what the ETH gas fees are. So that way I know if it's a good time for me to send anything or to buy or to, sell or whatever it is. Right, Jermaine? So I go to etherscan.io. Let me type this in here for y'all. I do this I know where it is. Bam. So let me type this in for y'all. etherscan.io. That's one. And then the other one is, I talk about this one all the time because this one to me is very user friendly, and it's coingecko.com. Okay. So those 2 websites, there are others, y'all. Don't freak out. I said these are my 2 that I use to see what the gas fees are before I consider sending any Ethereum or like or exchanging Ethereum for something else, or selling Ethereum, right? If the gas fees are under 30, that's considered low. Okay. Anything higher than that is considered high. And that gives you an idea that there's a bit more volume going on with Ethereum. Okay. So on coingecko.com, you can see the gas fees, the ETH gas fees at the top of the screen. Let me pour this up for y'all on, as a matter of fact, so you can see it. Bam. So I'm going to share my screen. Give me a second, TikTok, so I can share my screen. I do this every time, and I'll be trying to figure out how to do it on here, but I got it. Okay. Okay, so y'all should be able to see it. So I'm pointing at it right now for y'all on YouTube, and then TikTok. This is where you see it. So this is CoinGecko.com, right? And then at the top, you see coins, how many coins, how many exchanges, the market cap for cryptocurrency in completely, and then the 24-hour volume. So how much money is going in the market, dominance between Bitcoin and Ethereum. And then next to that, it has an Ethereum symbol and it has gas. If it's under 30, that means we're good. Okay, higher than 30 is not good. That means it's very busy. So you're going to pay more to make transactions. Everybody got it? Hopefully y'all got it. All right, let me change this back. Oh my gosh. Like, I wish I could do this faster. There we go. All right. There you go. So hopefully that helped y'all, and hopefully you took a screenshot. Okay, so let me stop sharing, and then I'm going to show you guys how to see it on Ethereum's the gas tracker, the Ether scan, real fast. I'm not going to show it on TikTok because when you go on TikTok, it's TikTok, you guys can go on etherscan.net and you'll just see it. It's like the first thing. Okay. So here you go. And here's the thing, I forgot to mention this. Etherscan.io, that one updates every 15 seconds, guys. So that's why I say etherscan.io first, because it constantly updates every 15 seconds. Okay, so see, guys, it has it on here. Low, average, high. Okay, for now, right? But like I said, the high period is higher than 30. Okay, so now we got that part out the way. Any questions about the gas fees? Okay, all that is you paying to play. You paying to use the network. That's it. That's all. All right. So pretty much in essence for us, when we're talking about Ethereum, like, is it better than Bitcoin? I'm not going to say it's better than Bitcoin or it's worse than Bitcoin. If people are saying that, Bitcoin is digital gold, then Ethereum is just pretty much that programmable platform where money apps run. Okay, tally trades. So that's where we're at. So why do people care about Ethereum? Well, number one, they have apps that move money 24/7. Okay, unlike those of us that invest in the stock market. All right, we cannot make any purchases. We can't make any transactions until the stock market is open on Monday. Okay, Friday it shuts down. We're stuck for the weekend. So any news that comes out that could potentially impact that company that we're investing in, we can't make any moves. We can't say, "Ooh, let's buy," because X, Y, and Z, or shoot, let me sell because X, Y, and Z, right? So we can do trading. We can do our lending and borrowing. We can make payments 24/7, right? There's ownership on the chain when we're talking about Ethereum. There was a whole NFT craze. We know that that's pretty much died down and calmed down. I'm not here to say that, you shouldn't, create NFTs and you shouldn't buy NFTs. Listen, your money is your money. What you want to do with your money is totally up to you. The only thing I challenge everyone to do is to do their own research before you do anything. Do your own research, okay? There's open innovation when it comes to Ethereum. Anyone can build. That could be a good thing. That could be a bad thing. Okay. But users can take their wallets to any apps. Okay. And that's where I go into that security, refreshing everyone's memory on me going over security when it pertains to your cryptocurrency. Y'all, there are people waiting to catch you slipping. Okay. I've gotten scam emails and text messages about MetaMask. I'm like, I don't even store anything on my MetaMask wallet. I have it, but I stopped using it. And a long time ago, you know what I'm saying? But I'm sitting here getting these scammy messages, emails and texts. I'm like, what are we doing? Y'all, even now with Coinbase, they're sending out text messages. Y'all, they're sending out text messages, giving you this code, right, to say that you were just on Coinbase and you're trying to make a transaction. Here's your digital code, right? Y'all, please stop falling for that. If anybody has fell for it, do not fall for it. if you know for a fact you are not just on Coinbase, you should not be clicking any links in that text. Period. If you use the SMS text for your two-factor authentication, you should not be clicking any buttons. What you need to be doing is blocking that number and then reporting it to junk and deleting it. Okay, if you have an iPhone, I know you can do the report and then delete. Okay, but I block it first and then I report it and delete. And I haven't had a text message from that Coinbase scam in like maybe a week and a half, maybe something like that. Okay, so we need to make sure that we are paying attention before we get involved in these markets, because there are a lot of people waiting for you to, put money onto these platforms and not know what you're doing, and then they can come in and swoop in and take whatever you have. That $1,000 that you put into crypto, to start building your portfolio, can be taken if you do not take security serious. Okay. All right. So pretty much when it comes to Ethereum, like I said, why do people care? Ethereum lets you use your crypto, not just hold it. Okay. Like I said, make sure that you are practicing really good security measures as it pertains to that. I'm not going to go over it again right now, but I will say, y'all, you can click the link on TikTok. There's a bio. You can click that link and then you can get a free checklist, a security checklist. So you can get that, download that for free, and then go through and make sure you take every single step to protect your cryptocurrency. Nikki Z said that's what happened to me with Coinbase. I'm telling you, they've gotten better with those text messages. So I'm going to be showing that during my masterclass tomorrow. The last text message that I got like a week and a half ago, they actually improved how they sent the text message, but I still knew it was fake because of something else. And I'll share that on the masterclass that I'm having tomorrow, right? All right, so we got through all of that. So now let's talk about volatility, right? And I'm sorry that happened to you, Nikki Z. This is why I say this stuff all the time, though. Like, so that way a lot of us know what to look for, what to avoid, and also how to prepare ourselves, So when it comes to cryptocurrency, we know that, boy, crypto can whip up, but it sure can whip down. Okay. Now, here we were. What was this? Was it the 21st or before the 21st of October? Crypto had dropped down. Said, I didn't respond. I got the message. Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha. So I think it was the 21st of October or right before the 21st. Bitcoin had dropped down to like 103, almost $104,000, right? Now, this past week, it went up to 116-ish. What? This is in a month, right, Jenny? Like, this is what happened. So crypto is very volatile. And if you cannot handle it, y'all, I'm telling you now, this is not the place for you. If your heart cannot handle seeing 5K, 6K, 7K movement in a day, this is not for you. Okay? I'm just being honest with you. But if you're like, nah, I can handle it because I'm going to invest smartly. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to put money in I can't afford to lose. You're good, right? So we already know, like, people tell us, crypto moves fast. Make sure you keep your emotions in check. Keep your emotions calm, blah, blah, blah. This is very true. The crypto market can move, like I said, 5K, 6K in one day, up or down, right? But that's why it's imperative that we don't chase the top or attempt to call the exact bottoms. We look at areas of interest. Me personally, and anybody that I communicate with, we look at areas of interest. But this is one thing that I really suggest for everybody, not just beginners, right? Dollar cost average. And if you have ever been in anyone's crypto community on their live stream or whatever, you have probably heard this term, dollar cost averaging. Okay. We all, Jenny, should be considering small, consistent buys over time according to our budget, instead of us attempting to time the market, instead of us attempting to guess if it's going to go up here and this is the top and now everybody's going to sell. So now I need to buy all the way down. And then no, we don't need to guess. Okay. With dollar cost averaging, it's going to help us keep our emotions in check. That's number one. Because we know that we're buying no matter what. Okay. No matter what's going on in the market, no matter who's in office, no matter what Congress is doing, no matter if it's a shutdown or not, we know we're going to be buying, but we're buying according to our budget. That is the key. I met a gentleman. This was when we were living in Texas. I went to a crypto event in Austin, Texas, right? And I was talking to one of the employees at Coinbase. And I asked him, I was like, for a beginner, I wasn't a beginner, but I'm just asking, I was like, for a beginner, what's one piece of advice you would give a beginner coming into the cryptocurrency market? And you know what he told me? He said, I would tell them to start small and stay small when you're investing. He said, don't get stuck in the hype. Don't get caught up in the hype. Don't be like, I gotta put more. Now, this is me paraphrasing y'all because he don't talk like that. But he said, don't sit here and put all your money into the market or whatever because you see this is going up or this is going down. He was like, stay consistent with whatever you're going to invest in. This is a person that works at Coinbase that told me that face to face. I'm telling you what they said. And guess what? It works. Okay? So I said this last week, but I'm going to say this again too. Y'all write your rules down before you even think about buying. And then also include when you're going to add. Okay? If you're going to add every week, if you're going to add every other week, if you're going to add every month, we need to know this stuff. Or, you know what? Right now, Bitcoin is at 115,000, and I'm not buying anything until Bitcoin drops down below 100K. Okay, cool. If Bitcoin drops down to below 100K, start back buying. But this is your plan. Got it? When Ethereum drops down to 3,800, that's when I'm going to start buying again. Okay, cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? You need to create your plan. That's it. That's all. Okay? So who here is going to dollar cost average into the market from now on when we're talking about cryptocurrency? That applies to Bitcoin. That applies to Ethereum. That applies to XRP. That applies to Solana. That applies every cryptocurrency that you are considering investing in. If you're going to dollar cost average, put DCA in the comments if you're watching the replay, right? Put DCA in the chat if you're watching me live. I see you, Prettier T. I see you, Liz. What's going on, girl? What's up? What's up? Right? I see. Okay, CC. That's what I'm talking about. That will work. Yeah, like look, and again, we're about to go into when we considering dollar cost averaging, y'all. I'm going to talk to you guys about the amount, but the reason why I say smaller amounts is because I'm aware that not everybody is in a position to put thousands of dollars into the market every single month. Not everybody's in that position, right? I see you, Nikki Z. Not everybody's in that position. It's okay. We need to focus on running our own race. We need to stay in our lane because we don't know what those people did or are doing to be able to put that amount of money into the cryptocurrency market. You know what I'm saying? We don't know if they're only investing into the cryptocurrency market. Like they're putting all their chips into that. They're not diversifying. They're not investing in the stock market too, like some of us are doing, right? They're not investing in buying gold, physical gold and silver like some of us are doing. They're not doing that. They're like, no, I'm not investing in anything else but cryptocurrency for the next 2-3 years. That's it. That's all I'm doing. So yeah, they probably can put thousands in it. They may have more money than you. Who cares? It's not your lane. It's not your focus. Focus on what your budget allows you to do, but do that thing every single time. Every week, every other week, every month, whatever you decide. Okay? So what I'm going to share with you guys here next, this is strictly for educational purposes only and not financial advice because I'm not a financial advisor yet, okay? So everything that I've shared with you so far, same thing. Make sure you do your own research. If you have a financial advisor, consult with them, okay? Make sure you have a good financial advisor, though. You know what I'm saying? The ones that are on board with cryptocurrency, okay? But I went over this last week, but there were people who are here tonight on TikTok, I see, that wasn't here last week. So that's why I'm going to give you your green flag checklist, okay? Green flag checklist. This means green means go, right? Red means stop. So if it's green, you're good to go. Take off, okay? If it's red, you need to chill out, okay? So let's go. We need to make sure that we practice safety first. What do you mean by that? First of all, we need to make sure that all our bills are paid. Okay? We need to make sure all our bills are paid. Can we do that? Can we make sure before we put any money into this risky market, because it is risky, it's still fairly new. All right, we're talking about 15, 16 years old, y'all. It's not like it's been around forever, like gold, like silver, like the stock market, real estate and stuff. Like it hasn't been around as long, okay? So we're still under 20 years old. Still under there. So we need to make sure our bills are paid first before we put it into this market. Okay? Give me a thumbs up if you can do that. And if you're going to do that. All right? That's for you too, YouTube. And y'all keep tapping the screen on TikTok and share, especially if this is helping you. Share. And if you really are liking it, go ahead, give me a follow too. You know what I'm saying? And then I'll follow you back. And then I'll engage back because I do engage, right? So I see you, CC. There we go. Good job. Right? So we're going to make sure our bills are paid first. On top of that, we're going to make sure we have some emergency cash. Now, some people don't like the term emergency because it makes them have heart palpitations and they get anxiety real bad. So I'm going to say, make sure that you have money in your call it what you want fund. Whatever you want to call it, put it in that. Shannon Nicole Brown, right? Put it in that. Okay? So those are the first two things I need you to do. Make sure you have your bills paid and you have some money in your call it what you want fund. Okay? Number two, you got to make sure that you have a secure email and you use the two-factor authenticator. You can use Google Authenticator. You can use the Authy. There's a bunch of them out there. Okay? But use the one that is most friendly, user-friendly for you. All right? But make sure that you have that secure email. Last week, I recommended you research Proton Mail. Okay, that's considered a secure email. But when you create these emails, if you don't want to create a new one and you want to keep your Gmail, your Outlook, whatever, y'all make sure that you're changing your passwords at least every 6 months at a minimum. And you need to make sure that your password is 12 to 24 characters. Okay, like it needs to be longer. Make it hard for these people to get access to your stuff. All right, seriously, y'all, because desperate times calls for desperate measures. So people who are looking to scam and get people's information, get access to their bank accounts, get access to their crypto and stuff. Like if you're using your Gmail or your Outlook or whatever for your money transactions, like your bank account is connected to your Gmail or your Outlook, you need to make sure that you are changing your password at least every 6 months and you have a longer, stronger password. 12 to 24 characters, y'all. Okay? And another part of that security, y'all, is get a cold or a hot wallet. I explained that last week. If you're like, I don't know what that is, please write those terms down. What is a hot wallet with cryptocurrency? What is a cold wallet with cryptocurrency? Go Google that or go to ChatGPT. It will break that down for you. I use the hot wallet as a checking account, and the cold wallet is a savings account. That cold wallet is the one that for sure is for future generations and will be included in our trust. Got it? Okay, that's me though. I don't know about you. But for sure, cold wallet is in the trust. All right. Hot wallet will be too, but cold wallet is in the trust. Period. That's not a question. Because that's for future generations. I'm not touching that. Hot wallet is checking account for me. That's the one that I know I'm going to be doing transactions consistently through. Okay. When I feel like Christmas giveaway, I give away Bitcoin, right? So if I'm like, yeah, I want to give away some Bitcoin, that's in my hot wallet, not my cold wallet. Cool. All right. So we need to make sure that we have a secure email. That's number 2. Secure email. We changing our password every 6 months at a minimum. Okay. And then also we're making sure that we have the 2-factor authenticator, and we have our hot and or cold wallet, plus those seed phrases are written down, y'all. Oh shoot, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. My bad. I'm gonna end it. Oh shoot, that was an accident. I was trying to share it. I don't press the button. What's going on, brother? Hey, y'all, forgive me. I'm still figuring the TikTok live stream out. You know what I'm saying? Thank y'all for bearing with me. My bad. So yeah, make sure you write those seed phrases down too. And again, one more time, with those seed phrases, we need to make sure that you're writing it on waterproof paper, okay? Or you can put it into the Ziploc bag, and make sure you store it in a fireproof place. And if I were you, I would have it in 2 different locations, okay? At a bare minimum, all right? Make sure that whoever your beneficiary is, they know where it's located. Okay, so something happened to you and you didn't get a chance to put it in your will, you didn't get a chance to put it in your trust, right? Then your beneficiary knows, oh, mama put the seed phrases for her crypto here. Daddy put his seed phrase for his crypto here. Okay, don't leave them hanging. All right. So that was number 2. Number 3, you need to know your max loss in dollars and be okay with that. All right. Everybody's number is not going to be the same. So again, your lane is your lane. Don't look to the left. Don't look to the right. I need you to look straight ahead. Your lane is your lane. If you're saying, Leona, I cannot afford, like my heart cannot take losing more than $100 in a day, that's fine. You know what your limit is, okay? But you need to be like, okay, if I get to this number, what am I doing next, Roberto? Okay, what am I doing next? You need to have a plan, okay? And speaking of plan, that plan should not have feelings involved, meaning I'm buying into the market because I feel like it's a good buy. I'm selling the market. I'm selling my Ethereum because I feel like I should sell. No, let data speak for you. Got it? Data should be telling you I'm buying right now. Data should be telling you I'm selling right now. Data should be telling you I'm holding right now. Data. That's why we collect it. That minimizes, again, that feeling of missing out and being overwhelmed and being confused and being frustrated. You don't need to feel all of that because you have data on your side. You have a strategy and a plan on your side. That's what you're going off of. All that other stuff is just noise and distraction. We don't need it. Got it? I hope you do. Okay. And number 4, we need to think in years and not days. Okay. Crypto has not been around long. Like I said before, y'all, it's less than 20 years old. All right. We're talking 15, 16 years at this point. What are we doing? Why are we sitting here thinking I'm going to buy this meme coin? And for my people who are into meme coins, this is no shot at you. But on my page, on TikTok, on this YouTube channel, I don't promote meme coins, okay? Because to me, those meme coins are not providing value. It's not solving a problem. So for me, when I invest, I want to invest in something that I have the data to show me it has the potential to be around for the next 5, 10, 15 years. Bitcoin has been here since 2009. It started at 1 penny, y'all. What it is today, 115K? 2009. Where were you in 2009? What were you doing in 2009? Bitcoin was a penny. Imagine if you would have known about Bitcoin then and you would have took it serious. Or just say, you know what? this sounds like it's gonna be the future, and these are the things that they're talking about, and and you do your research. You're like, you know what? Boom, I'm buying. And now here it is. One Bitcoin is 115K. When I looked at it earlier, I don't know if it went up or down, right? But 115K. Come on now. Meme coins. Do you have data? Right? So this is the reason why I personally don't. Now, again, no knock to anybody else that does. Just I don't do that here. Okay? So we need to make sure we're thinking in years. What is the history behind Bitcoin? What's the history behind Ethereum? What's the history behind Solana? What's the history behind XRP? What's the history behind Cardano? I just gave y'all 5. All right. Anyway, number 5, we want to set small amounts for us to dollar cost average, especially when you're just starting out. Y'all don't go. I was about to use the wrong term. Can't use that term. But don't go all in on something when you're just starting out. Again, make sure you have a budget and you move according to your budget. If your budget says that, hey, listen, you can only do $5 a week, guess what? $5 a week it is. Got it. Thank you for sharing the live, brother. Right? If it's $10 a week, $10 a week it is. If it's $100 a week, $100. It don't matter. It's your budget. Go according to your budget. So no one price controls your mood and thoughts and feelings about the market. Got it? So when Bitcoin does do a massive dump in 1 minute, in 1 hour, you're not like, oh my God, I'm pulling my hair out. You're not doing that because what? Man, I just been buying, you know what I'm saying, every week. Every other week. This my Starbucks money. This my cigar money. This my, Jordan money. Whatever it is, like this is what you're putting into the market, right? Next thing is, like I said, make sure you write your rules. Okay? Write your rules. Know when you're going to add more, when you're going to hold, or when you're just going to stop altogether. Okay? Let's say you're like, look, when I get to 10,000 XRP, I'm good. When I get to 10,000 XRP, I'm good. I'm not going to buy anymore. And then I'm going to move that allocation over to Cardano. Just throwing some out there. Okay. Cool. But you need to have a goal. And you need to know when you're going to add more, when you're going to hold, when you're going to stop altogether. All right. So something else I wanted to touch on one more time, like I did last week, and then we're going to move on to investing for less than $100 with Ethereum. The next thing I wanted to talk about is, look, we're in a market. As a matter of fact, let me go to it right now because I didn't look at it this morning. I want to look at the Crypto Fear and Greed Index. Let me pull this up. Because I want to see what it is. When I looked at it the other day, it was fear, regular fear, not extreme fear. So let me look at it today and see. See, now it's neutral. So last week when I looked at it, it was at fear and it was like 24, 25, something like that. Today is neutral and it's 42. Y'all, this is not the time. Let me rephrase that. If you're dollar cost averaging, you're going to buy regardless. Okay. If you have not already been dollar cost averaging, if it's neutral, this is not the time to start buying. That's probably a better way to say it, MJ Brooks. I see you, my brother. Right? This is not the time to start if you have not already been dollar cost averaging. Okay? Because it's neutral. We need to see fear or most definitely extreme fear on that Crypto Fear and Greed Index. As a matter of fact, let me type this in for y'all. Crypto Fear and Greed Index. Okay, that's what you need to be looking up. And you can go to coinmarketcap.com. They have it on there. That's the one I use. And and I just check that periodically. I don't check it every day, but I check it periodically. If there's something that happened in the market and there's a massive set off, I'm like, what the heck? I got to go see the news, and then I look at the crypto fear and greed index as well, because I'm like, what happened? Okay, but that's it. All right. So now, next thing, we need to make sure when it comes to Ethereum, before we buy, we have identified what are the gas fees. Again, those gas fees are us being paying the network to play. Okay, we're paying the network to be able to make transactions. When it comes to Ethereum, you don't have network fees with Bitcoin. You have network fees with Ethereum. Okay. So again, if the gas fees, when you go to etherscan.io or to coingecko.com, if it is less than 30, you're fine. Okay. Your gas fees, your fees may end up being 10 cents, 15 cents, something like that. It's not going to be that high. Okay. But when there's more transactions, more volume, all right, when there's greed in the market and extreme greed in the market, guess what's going to happen? Those gas fees are going to be much higher because it's going to be busier. The network is going to be busier. It's going to be at work. Okay? Keep tapping the screen, y'all, and sharing the live. I appreciate y'all. Right? So those are the things I want you guys to do. Make sure that you have a green. Your bills are paid. You have your call it what you want fund funded. Okay? You have a secure email. You change your password every 6 months at a bare minimum. You have changed your password to 12 to 24 characters. Okay. You have a two-factor authenticator. You have your hot or cold wallet or both. And you have the seed phrases written down on waterproof paper and in a fireproof location. All right. You have your max loss written down. You're fine with that number. You're not tripping. You have a legit plan. You're not going off of feelings, right? Because you're thinking in years and not days. You're not thinking in months or weeks. You're thinking in years. You're thinking 5 years, 10 years down the line. Where do I want my crypto portfolio to be? Who's going to use it in the future? Who is it for? Who am I building this for? Why am I building this for them? Right? You're constantly dollar cost averaging. Regardless of what's going on in the market, regardless of who's running the country, regardless of who's in Congress, regardless of government shutdown, no government shutdown, you have your plan to invest according to your budget, either weekly, bi-weekly, monthly. That's up to you, not anybody else. You have your rules written down. You know when you're going to add more money. You know when you're going to hold. You know when you're going to stop. Okay? And you're not moved by the market. You're not paying attention to, oh, it's euphoria right now, so let me go buy. You're saying, you know what? When it's quiet, when there's fear in the market, my antennas are up. If my budget allows me to buy more, I may buy more. If my budget allows. Okay? And then we always check the gas fees before we make a purchase, before we send any Ethereum, or before we sell any Ethereum. Okay? Because we want to pay less. Got it? That's our checklist, our green flag checklist to tell us we're good to go. All right? Okay. So now, for my people who are like, man, I thought, Ethereum is 4,100. Let me see. Look, let me see real quick. What is Ethereum right now? When I looked at it earlier, it was like a little over $4,100. Oh, shoot. I clicked the button too fast. I couldn't see. It is, so it's $39.80. J Boogie is $39.80. So it's less than what I saw earlier. Okay? All right, cool. So now Ethereum is $39.80. But Leona, I still don't have $3,900. Well, guess what? You can still invest though. Okay? How can I invest? Let me show you. Let me show you. All right. So what we're going to do, number one, we're going to remember that Ethereum is divisible just like Bitcoin. What does that mean? You can buy any dollar amount and still invest in Ethereum. It's like fractional shares in the stock market, like I shared last week. The difference is Ethereum, like Bitcoin, runs 24/7. You can buy You can send, you can sell 24/7 in the cryptocurrency market. Can't do that with the stock market. Okay, so I'm gonna give you an example. Let's say you want to invest in VOO. I'm using it stock terms for my people who invest in the stock market, but they're curious about investing in the cryptocurrency market, right? So let's say you're like, man, I want to buy some more VOO, but god dang, VOO is like $600 some right now. Like, do I really want to, well, you know what? I still want to buy some. I got $400 that I could put into my brokerage and then have them buy me some VOO, right? To have them buy me. Why this just went down? Oh, Lord. Oh, there you go. Okay. I need y'all to tap the screen. Tap, 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 tap. I don't know what happened. But yeah. So if you're saying, hey, look, I got 400, I want to put it into this brokerage. I got, Vanguard, I'm going to put 400 in there, and then they're going to buy me some VOO. You're not going to own one full share of VOO with $400, right? But you're going to own a fractional share of it. Now, once you put another 400 in it, now you own one full share and then some more fractions of it. That makes sense? Same thing with Bitcoin, same thing with Ethereum, same thing with other cryptocurrencies that cost a bit more than a person's budget to buy in one setting. Okay? So the first thing you want to do in order to buy into Ethereum, one, you need to pick a reputable exchange, crypto exchange. That could be Coinbase, that could be crypto.com, Gemini, Kraken, whichever one. Do your research. Okay? As a matter of fact, I want you to type into Google US regulated crypto exchanges. And then you go research each one. What you want to do is see what they provide, what cryptocurrencies they provide based off of the ones you want to invest in or one you want to invest in, right? What are the typical fees? You can find that, like how much they're charging, how many they own of it, because that's also researchable as well. Okay. You can see if anything is on the block list, because that's something I didn't know about before I started investing. There are certain cryptocurrencies that, depending on what state you're in, you cannot purchase, okay? Or you cannot hold. If you purchase it when you lived in another state and then you move into another state, you cannot have access to that particular cryptocurrency, okay? If it's restricted in that state. All right? So these are the things you need to just check out. So that's number one. Research a reputable U.S. regulated, for my U.S. people, U.S. regulated crypto exchange. Okay? Don't go to this rinky-dink stuff and then you're sitting here like, I don't know what happened to my cryptocurrency. That's what happened to it. Okay? No person should be DMing you saying, hey, I got access to this cryptocurrency, and if you, send $25 in Bitcoin or $50 in Bitcoin, $100, whatever, then you'll get access to this. Y'all, that's a scam. Okay? Because no reputable crypto exchange should be sending any text messages, DMs, or to anybody. And two, they shouldn't be asking you to send them Bitcoin in order to invest in a different type of cryptocurrency. That makes no sense either. Okay? So y'all stay away from the rinky-dink. Stay away from the individuals that's telling you to invest in this new cryptocurrency. All right? Now, if you're a super risk taker, you do what you want to do. But for my people who are like, no, I want to be a smart investor, y'all stick to crypto exchanges that have been around. All right? All right? And then number two, make sure that you have that two-factor authenticator. I see you go, DJ Unstoppable. Appreciate the gift. Thank you so very much. Right? Shaddai, we want to make sure we have that two-factor authenticator so we can protect ourselves. All right? The next step is to deposit a small amount into that exchange after you've connected your bank account or your bank card, your debit card. Okay? Small amount meaning $50, $20, whatever you can do. Okay? It don't have to be a lot. $10. I had somebody ask me, well, what if you don't have $100? $5. Just buy so that way you can get the feel for the platform, for being able to make transactions to buy. See how much they charge you, right? When you get your hot or your cold wallet, which is going to be next, when you get your hot or your cold wallet, get a feel for sending it from your exchange that you purchase it on to, your hot or your cold wallet, right? But just make the purchase, okay? If you can't do 100, do 50. If you can't do 50, do 25. All right? Go DJ say the minimum is 10. It's 10 now? Yeah, I don't do no small amounts, and you know what I'm saying? So I can't tell you. I do know people that has done $10. They've done less, but that was in 2021, right? Okay, so there it is. Minimum is $10. Okay. Then you're going to choose that Ethereum. You're going to select buy. Okay. Type in your dollar amount. And then it should show you once everything has went through, you should, if you have a two-factor authenticator, especially with Coinbase, you should get that code sent to you immediately to say you're making this purchase. That's the only time you should get a code sent to your phone, okay, is when you're attempting to make that purchase, or you're attempting to send cryptocurrency, or you're attempting to sell. You're doing the transaction. That's when you get the code. Boom, you put the code in. Then they'll tell you, hey, your transaction is occurring, and then your transaction is complete. Okay? And then you'll get the email as well with Coinbase. All right? That's it. So what we're going to do moving forward, we're going to start small. We're going to learn the market, learn how it flows, right? And we're going to protect our keys. We need to protect our digital assets, y'all. Just because it's a digital asset does not mean that we just say, oh, well, whatever, when it comes to securing our stuff, when it comes to researching. You don't do that with the stock market, do you? Can you hold the stock that you own in your hand? You could probably hold a product, but can you hold the number of stocks you own in your hand? Can you hold it in your hand? The answer is no. You can hold the product, but you cannot hold the actual number of stocks you own. That's digital, right? So we need to take the same care, the same precaution, the same discipline and that research, like have it gaining the knowledge. We need to apply all of that we do in the stock market, that we do in the real estate market, that you do when you purchase gold and silver. You don't just go and say, who's selling gold? I want to buy some gold. And you don't research the person or the platform, the company. Do you? If you do, then you're a four-letter word. Right? Like, come on. You don't do that. So let's not do that. Let's not treat the cryptocurrency market like that. Okay? All these rules apply to every single market. We just need to take our time, okay? So hopefully everything that I have shared with you guys, it has reduced your anxiety about this market just a little bit, if not a lot of bit, okay? If it did, let me know. Let me know. Like put a 100 in there if you're like, man, I can invest in this market, man. I know I can invest in this market. Put a 100 in the chat if you're watching live. For y'all watching a replay, if you're watching a replay on YouTube, put a 100 in the comments. If you're like, hey, my anxiety is down a bit. You know what I'm saying? I feel a bit more comfortable with the idea of investing in the cryptocurrency market. All right. So let me give you guys 3 rules to apply when we're using Ethereum, right? 3 rules. Number 1, we're going to start small. Okay. We're going to treat it like this is our first time. These are our 3 rules. We're going to start small every single time. All right. I see you, CC Sibbert. I just said that so fast. I messed myself up. So start with your $10. If you're like, hey, I'm not comfortable with it, start with your $10. Okay. If you're like, nah, I'm all right. I could do more. Do what your budget allows. Okay. But for my people who are very, very cautious and uncomfortable with it, $10. Okay. Make sure that you are taking your time to read each step. Okay. Don't just gloss through stuff. Read each step. Okay. Confirm the network, confirm the fees, confirm the destination address, the wallet address. So if you're sending it from Coinbase to your hot wallet or your cold wallet, confirm that at least 2 times before you hit send. Got it? And y'all, we need to stay away from the random requests for you to purchase whatever, you know what I'm saying, or to invest in this new cryptocurrency that's on the scene. This about to take over and da 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 da. All you got to do is send $100 worth of Bitcoin, $100 worth of Ethereum. Y'all stay away from that. Nobody should be DMing you about investing in a cryptocurrency. Okay? No reputable team that is about to launch a crypto project should be DMing you on any social media platform, asking you to give them Bitcoin, Ethereum, anything other than, they shouldn't be DMing you. Got it? Okay. So that's it. Next time we're going to talk about some different altcoins. So that way you can do your research. You can do your own research. All right. I'm going to give you a few more outside of Ethereum, like I shared today. I'm not going to do a breakdown like I did today. I'm just going to give you a couple of things. We're going to talk about ETFs here soon too, because for all my people that's in the stock market, for all my people who are preparing for retirement, okay, these crypto ETFs, right, are a good way to be involved in the cryptocurrency market and in the stock market at the same time. Okay, but there's going to be some things that you're going to need to know. All right, so we're going to talk about altcoins next week, but I'm going to start splashing in a little bit of the ETFs because they have different ETFs now. All right, and there's some that's on the horizon. They're just waiting to be approved, but I want you to be aware of what they are. Okay, so if you're watching a replay on YouTube, I need you guys to drop your biggest takeaway in the comments. If you want to, while watching live, drop it in the chat. Okay, just give me one of your biggest takeaways real quick. Type it. What finally clicked for you as it pertains to Ethereum? What finally clicked for you as it pertains to Ethereum tonight? Okay, what is something that you're going to do? So as you're typing that in the comments, right, in the chat right now, I'm going to give you guys your homework. All right, so number one, your homework is going to be reread your security setup. So I gave y'all some steps. Again, TikTok, if you all want to have access to the checklist, like download it, it's totally free. All right, if you want to download it, you can click the link in my bio, okay? And then just input your information to get it sent to you so you can download it. All right, and again, it's totally free, but it's a whole checklist. It's not a full 2 pages, but it's 2 pages, and you should be able to do step 1, 2, 3, to make sure that you're good to go with crypto, period, and you're secure. You got your layers of security. Okay, redo that. All right, write down your ETH rules. So why you're gonna buy, when you're gonna buy, when you're gonna add, when you're gonna hold, when you're gonna stop altogether, if you're gonna stop altogether. Okay, and then if you haven't bought any Ethereum yet and you're like, I want to buy some Ethereum because I've done the research and whatnot, this is not a requirement for your homework. This is only for the people who know they want to buy some Ethereum after they have done their research. Then that's when you're going to buy some Ethereum at a minimum $10 if your budget can allow. Okay. Or whatever you say according to your budget, then buy that. But make sure before you buy Ethereum that you go to one or two of those websites to check the gas fees. Okay. Right now it still should be low. Because it's not busy, right? There's not greed or extreme greed in the market. So you should be good to go. All right. So that's it. That's all I got. Like I said, next week we're talking about altcoins. so that way we don't get burned in this market. Okay. And I'm going to start sprinkling in some ETFs in there for my people who are invested in the stock market and also want to include crypto in their retirement. And I'm talking about you doing your own retirement fund, your IRA, your money market accounts and things of that nature. Okay. So I'm going to be live again next Tuesday. What date is that? Next Tuesday is November 4th. I will be live November 4th. Yes. I'll be live November 4th at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central. That's 4 p.m. Pacific, y'all. Stay curious, stay cautious, and stay prosperous. Y'all have a really good remainder of your day and week, and I'll see y'all next week. Bye, y'all.